welcome back to Trim the Fat. It's a podcast designed to help us on our emotional, our spiritual, and of course our physical journey. The facts, the fears, the anxieties, and the traumas that somehow keep us stuck. My name is Dr. Rhonda Garner, and today I have with me my friend, Jana Stader. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a pharmacist, she's a marathon runner, and I'm so glad that she's here because she juggles all of those things, probably more than what I'm saying. So Jana, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey,
thank you for being here.
You're welcome. I would only do this for Rhonda. So yeah, like she said, I'm a pharmacist and I run and train for marathons. I also help coach the local high school cross-country team in my spare time.
Yeah, what spare time is that?
Right.
Okay, you're from, where are you from, Jen?
I originally from West Tennessee, Jackson and Bartlett area. Grew up in Bartlett.
Okay. And then, so right now, you're out in, I'm in address.
Yes, I'm in Collierville, yeah.
So yeah, we're local. So Jen and I work together, and we are pharmacists together and moms and all that good stuff and have mutual friends. And I'm just delighted that you were able to join me today. I do want to talk about juggle, because one of the biggest things that people probably don't think that is so big and important is juggling mom life and then also doing the things that we want to do. Trying to incorporate that into our everyday, but sometimes we can't. We have to let the kids do that. So you have two girls.
I do. Yep.
And they're very active, and you're active. So let's just dive into that, like taking care of them and all the things that they have to do and how you do all of it.
All right. Well, luckily one of them's 17, so she can drive herself now.
Okay.
That took a little bit of off the table. That anxiety of driving is a whole another topic. But she can drive herself. She drives herself to all her soccer practices, her early morning school workouts, school days. She takes herself to that. So that's one thing off the plate. But the little one now has her own soccer, her own taekwondo, her own gymnastics. That I do.
It's like every day of the week.
It's about every day of the week. Yes.
Except tonight.
Yeah. And so she's at taekwondo, but the husband took her. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, juggling that can be challenging and still making time for me and feeling that it's important to make time for me and not feeling guilty about it. That's probably one of the biggest challenges, is not feeling guilty for taking time for me, that hour that I could be, home doing things with them, or cooking dinner and maybe a little bit later because I'm doing something else. But
yeah, when did you get to that where you didn't feel guilty? Because I think it's difficult. I think I'm there. It's better for me because I co-parent. Sometimes it's better for me because I try to do the things while she's with her dad, and then when she's with me, I dedicate all. It's like I'm overextending myself with her because I missed that week before.
Yes.
So then if I do something else for myself or have her go somewhere where I do something for an hour or two, I have a guilt. So it's like, how do you get to the point of where, okay, this is for me, and I need to do something for me so I could be a good mom and be more engaged because I'm about to go crazy, right? I need to go out. So that's why book club's good too. But anyway,
right. Yeah. Well, I don't know that I'm there. Some days are easier than others. So I can run while the little one is at soccer practice. So I can still be there, but I'm just going for a run. Or I can run during gymnastics or run during some other downtime that she's at home, because I'm not an early morning runner. Mm-hmm. So I'm not one that runs while everybody's still asleep. Yeah. I'm just not. So I do feel.
Why did I envision you running at 5 a.m.?
No. I'm usually a 5 p.m. type runner.
Okay. I have to work out after work.
And so that I do still feel guilty doing, but to me, the payback of showing them that mom is going out and doing things for herself and keeping healthy kind of comes back in 10 times over, because I see they're continuing to be healthy and active. And, I hear the chatter of, well, my mom did this and my mom did that. And, they are proud of me. And the biggest driver for me is to continue to make them proud of me. Yes. And I have to do that by taking care of myself.
Okay. I like that. So the chat, did you say you hear the chat? I hear Nadia, she does her little FaceTime with her friends sometimes. And sometimes I hear her and say, my mom did that. And I'm thinking, like, oh,
I know.
Because I usually hear her talk about her dad and, and her stepmom and stuff. And so when I hear her say, my mom was doing this, I went to this with my mom. I love that. Yeah. So it is a driver. It is a driver.
It definitely is.
So wait a minute. After work, so I want to know about your work, because I feel like in my mind, Jana runs at 5 a.m. in the morning. She does it in the evening. She's doing it on the weekends, or, and everything in my mind. That's
Right.
That's how, like, okay, if she's taking her kid to soccer, then she's or she's already done with work. Now she's running, and then she's doing this. I don't see you washing the dishes. I don't. See
That's the thing. I was about to say, there's a basket of laundry sitting in the kitchen right now that I need to fold.
That's me too.
The house is the number one thing that gets.
That's me too.
That's
me too.
It is what it is. We live in the house, and
So the one thing Nadia, I told her, I said, you need to learn how to wash the dishes. And she's like, oh, it's getting late. You want to wash the dishes? Lady, you can do the dish because the dishwasher, I have to get a new dishwasher. So it doesn't do one cycle. So the laundry, I'll wash clothes. I could wash.
Oh, yeah.
And that's 4 or 5 hampers.
It may take me 3 days to
my
fold.
shirt. I'm like, okay, can you help me fold? Yeah, I think Nadia and I do not like to fold or anything.
Yeah, I'll wash them.
Do you delegate to chores? I'm not a chore
I
person.
am horrible. Look, I think it stems back from when I was a kid and we had to do chores,
Me
and I
too.
hated it.
I
And
did
now
too.
I don't want to make my kids do it.
Okay. So I
But-
feel guilty because I don't give her chores. Because I told her 2 years ago, especially during COVID, I said, I'm making this list and you're going to mark these off and you're going to do it. And we had the list. I didn't even enforce it, didn't do anything. So now I'd be like, oh, Nadia, you need to clean this. She was like, oh, okay, we'll do it when we get back from where, and I agree.
I know, and then it never happens.
I don't enforce the chores.
I don't either. And well, the way I look at it is right now, I have good girls. They're not getting into trouble. They're doing good things. They're good people. Oh my God, I can't punish them with chores. I know it makes no sense.
But some people are so strict. Like, okay, I have them doing this, they do, but I get it, and I'm so happy that you are saying this because I feel better now. I'm not failing it because I don't do it.
I don't.
She likes to help me. So if we're trying to go somewhere that's like a driving force for her, like, okay, I said, Nadia, if you want to go to a friend's house, we got to sweep this
Right.
or do this. But it's not like a set.
Yeah. Now they're willing, and when the teenager's room gets messy enough, she'll clean it. It's like, it's your room. I gotta let it go. There's some things I've learned to let go, like her room. She'll clean it when she's ready. The little one, she's willing to help. I just don't make her.
Yeah, they did. So going back to the kids, you said she has taekwondo. She has all those things. How are you doing? Were you preparing for a marathon? Because I know that takes a whole lot. And then please tell me what it takes because I don't know all that it takes.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna do one, but why? How if I don't know?
Well, and I do want to, preface this, like, people think, oh, it's so easy. You just go out and you run, and
No.
it's not. It's a lot harder than maybe people think. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, but I'm not out there smiling and ready to go out the door every day. I mean, I love to run, but putting on the shoes and walking out the door genuinely is the hardest thing to do. So it's so funny because I was telling my friend on the way here that I was nervous about this, and I can relate it to those times when I really don't want to go run, but I have no excuse not to. What's my reason not to? And that's what's today. What's the reason not to go out and help Rhonda today?
Yes.
And so that took a long time to get my brain thinking, go for a run, get out. What's your reason not to? And I promise I always feel worse if I put off a run and I'm just too tired and don't do it. Gosh, I feel worse.
Well, because we have science backgrounds, that the running helps those endorphins or that serotonin and things for us to feel good. And if we lax on that, then we demand decreasing that. So the running or the consecutive minutes of being active with a steady pace or a good pace, I know that's one of these. So if you don't do it for a while, you can actually tell.
Oh, yes. And it's one day at a time. It's one run at a time. Even my training plan, I look at one day. I don't try to get ahead of myself. That's for me. That works for me, is I had to just stay in the moment, and I have to prepare for that day and do what I have to do to get out the door.
Okay. Tell me, so a training plan for someone who's never... How many marathons have you done?
5.
5. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know you did one in my hometown.
Yeah.
Chicago. Okay. So for the last 10 years, I've been saying I'm going to do a marathon. I've done the 5Ks, run some, walk some, but I have not done a full blown out preparation, enrolling, getting ready, and doing that everything for it. So for someone that doesn't know, what do you have to do?
Get off the couch, and everybody's couch is different, right?
Yeah.
So, for me, preparing to run a marathon a year from now looks different than you preparing to run a marathon. And you have to know that, and don't compare yourself.
Yes.
Oh gosh, don't compare yourself to anybody else but you.
Okay.
You are your worst enemy, and don't compare yourself to anybody, because everybody's couch is different. And you just have to get up and make the decision.
Okay.
Right? Write it down.
Make it real.
Make it real. Write it down. Post it. Put it somewhere, and solidify that decision. And then day by day, little by little, go out and start walking every day. Get to the habit of moving every day. I know your friend Shatina talks about moving every day. Make a promise to move. Do something. Not every day. Most days of the week.
Yeah.
Some days that it just are harder than others. But if you don't have a reason not to,
do it.
Do it.
I love that, Jana.
That's really the motto that's gotten me through the past several marathon training cycles. If you don't have a reason not to, then do it.
I love that. And then you have to have someone tell you what kind of runs to do,
Yeah, you can. I do have a coach that keeps me accountable, that tells me every day. I am a coach myself, but I can't hold myself as accountable.
Right.
So, yeah, right. And so I have somebody telling me what to do for my runs, and I thrive on that.
Okay.
So finding what works for you, finding that accountability partner, and even if your accountability partner doesn't show up or doesn't check in with you that day, be accountable for yourself in those hard moments.
Okay.
And start baby steps, make small goals. The basis doesn't change for any goal. Make those small attainable goals. Maybe for the month of May, just say, I'm going to, walk 3-4 days a week for 30 minutes. Once you get into that habit and realize how much better you feel after a walk.
Yeah.
And then, it's as simple as sometimes, yes. Oh goodness, yes.
Okay.
Or sometimes just simple as downloading a Couch to 5K app.
Yeah.
And making that, I'm going to run a 5K, because, making that attainable goal. Then when you've done it, you've done something, and you're like, okay, I can do this.
Yes.
Now the next step. So
go back in history. What made you do your first one?
Okay, I had a great friend that was a runner. The timing of me starting to run is crazy.
Okay.
It was the summer before I started pharmacy school. I had a 2-year-old, was ready to, I was always active growing up. I loved being outside. Had a friend who was just bugging me, because us runners, we like to hound people to run. Yeah. And I caved, and we would meet once a week, and she would have us run 30 seconds, run 30 seconds, walk. I'm telling you, I could barely run 30 seconds when I started. And so you have to be patient. I had the bug after that. She taught me kind of how to gradually build up to a 5K. I ran 5Ks for, a while, and then you get that confidence and to try something, a little bit out of your comfort zone and see if you can do it. And when you do it, you just
keep going.
You just keep going.
I love that. Because again, like I said, I will run. You said the 30 second thing. You was like, I couldn't run.
I'm telling you.
But here's the thing. In high school, I used to run a lot. The coaches for track and everything kept coming to me and said, we need you to run. I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
And the other thing was my high school was an hour away from my house. I would have to take the city bus. So my mom didn't want me to be after school late taking the bus. So I was like, okay, but who knows? I could have been probably a track star or something, but I would have run so fast. But that came from having to run while I was outside in my neighborhood. But I was good at running, but I didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
And so when we would do things at school, we had a great track. I went to the number 2 school in Chicago, and the track was really to that. Other schools would come to run on our track. I love doing it for play, like, okay, get the baton and run when nobody told me to do it. Right. If someone told me to do it and all eyes were on, I don't want to do it.
Okay. Well, you got to find something that you like. If it's not for you, then find something.
I like running on the treadmill. So now since I've gotten back into exercise in the last couple of years, I love the feeling of completing those tasks at Orange when I go to the gym. And we have part treadmill, part rower, and part street. And when we're on the tread, I do treads first to get it out the way. But and especially if Rolanda, my friend, is there, we keep it. That's accountability, because I'm seeing her still doing it and she's struggling. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep doing it too. So again, I see how the accountability works, and then I like going to group when it's in a group. Mm-hmm. If it's by myself, of course I can stop. And I really feel like that too. Like sometimes if it's other people there, it's a motivating thing to keep you going. So tell me about Chicago's. I've heard about it. I know people that have done it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, it was incredible. I got my Boston qualifying time at Chicago, which was exciting. And the feel there, the crowd. Have you ever watched a marathon?
I've watched one, but not Chicago.
Okay. Just there was not a single piece of sidewalk that did not have support, like crowd support. The entire 26 miles, there were people there cheering you on. And those people are equally as important as my coach that got me, that got me there, that support.
You hear that, it was extra legs, you just feel like you're out of breath, you hear them saying, you can do it. And it's just like, oh, that's great. So it was that many people.
Oh, yes. It was a beautiful day. I like to talk to people as I'm running too. And so encouraging other people like, all right, we've almost got this. Or, you make it what you want out of it. There was a man in a chicken suit that we were running kind of back and forth with for a while. I was like, okay, I can't let this man in chicken suit pass me, beat me.
Stop. See, I won't be able to do it because we would be laughing.
Yes.
We laugh all the time.
I mean, I ran the first half with a very good
But
friend.
I laugh so bad, my stomach start hurting sometimes. You know, when we get
I know.
it'll be tears and you'll be passing me up and I'm like, okay, see you later. Good luck. I'll be right here. Well, it's so good. Okay, and the one that you're training for is in 2025.
Yeah, the Boston, yeah.
So it's 2024. How does that even, see, that don't even make sense to me. So how are you preparing in 2024 for something in 2025?
Okay, yeah. Staying moving and not, I'm not going to be training hardcore training because you have to, your body needs breaks. You don't train hardcore for years and years on years. Okay. Without a break. So this would be kind of a downtime for me. So I'm running, but I may not be running as long or as many miles.
So how many months before the actual marathon do you have to get full force?
Okay. So for me, about 3.
It's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody depending on where you're starting. For me, about 12 weeks out.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
And then it's pretty intense for those 12.
So you
maybe
maybe
14.
Do a lot of things with us around that time.
Well, I do. I make it work. You squeeze them in when you can. There are many times that I've run really quick before book club. I'm like, I got to get my run in before book club. So, I'll take an extended lunch sometimes and run for 45 minutes on my lunch break.
Okay. I like it. You're you're dedicated and it feels good to you. That's good. Do you call it a hobby for you?
I call it, mental health for me,
okay.
but yeah, I would say it would be a hobby. Yeah. Cause I do enjoy it as well. Cause it's my time.
And you coach.
And I do coach and yeah.
So something that should be, and I think that when we doing something that we're passionate about and it really gives us some purpose and then you really help other people. So it's going to be somebody you're coaching later that's going to come back and say, hey, I did this because of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that. So yeah, you saw Coretta she's again.
I know. I'm so excited. I asked her today, I said, are you going to see her today? She's like, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So yeah, pretty soon we're going to have her out there. We'll all run downtown together.
All right.
Hold us to
I may have to hold accountable for that.
Hold us to it.
Because it doesn't matter, again, if you run the whole thing or if you walk, keep moving forward one front another. You're moving forward. Forward is the pace.
That's good. I used to do the LeBonner pumpkin thing. I missed it the last couple of years. So we used to do it every year. It's in October. It's right around Nadia's birthday. So that's one of the events that we would do.
You got time now.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in October. We have time.
Yeah, we got time to plan. See, I missed it the last 2 times. I think we were out of town for a trip the first time we missed it. And then last year, just was too much going on. Because I think they didn't do it one year. Or maybe
I think, there was one, maybe.
They didn't do it, but I did that. It was another, the bubble run. Have you done that?
No.
The bubble run, they have it all around in different cities, Chicago, big cities and stuff like that. And then there's a glow in the dark. I've done that twice.
That's where a lot of people get started, are these fun runs.
Yeah.
And then they get the bug. They're like, ooh.
I did have it for a minute. Yeah. Yeah. But that's good. So going back, I know we talked about all things running and doing the self-care outside of you doing the run. What else do you do for you?
I have to text my husband and say, I'm going to go take a bath. Can you keep the little one in the other room? Because she'll come running in there. So I'm like, can I just go take a hot bubble bath for a little while. Sometimes I'll just go sit in the bedroom and read.
Yeah.
Or I do love my daily walks.
Yeah.
Just because I run doesn't mean I don't do reading.
Right.
I go out on my lunch breaks often and just get that 30-minute walk in.
I like that. So one of the things that there was I think it was a year before last, I had a nutritionist. And I don't have her anymore, but it was right before I was having I had surgery for fibroids, but I didn't know I had fibroids, and I was gaining weight and all the things, so I had a nutritionist before I found out what was going on. And the nutritionist even she said, you have to get out in the, because I was told I'm having a hard time working from home.
Yeah.
So I said, she was like, I'm having a hard time. And so she said, you have to go out, because I was talking about the things I've been eating. I'll cook and have some things, but then I don't want what was there. You know what I mean? So I'll get something else that's not beside it, but I'm sitting down in this chair all day. And so she was like, do you take advantage of your breaks? And I was like, well, I'm doing something else. I'll be helping somebody else. She said this, and I said, you know what? This is the first job that I had that actually gives you a real break.
So you don't know what to do with yourself.
I didn't know. And she was like, well, promise yourself that you're going to do it. I said, well, for my birthday, this was 2021 when she told me this. So for my birthday to 2021, one of the things I said is I'm going to start taking advantage. And that's crazy as a gift to myself. Take advantage of what I have now, which are the breaks that I have. So I would walk the dog. I would go out and, do those things. And it's a difference. It makes a world difference.
I'll go sit by my pool with, on my 15-minute break. I'll just go outside. If it's nice out, go sit outside for that 15-minute, eat my oatmeal.
It's a reset.
Yeah, it definitely.
It's a reset. But yeah, all those things like that, because working you working from home. So working from home, and you came from a high-strung and a big, fast-paced environment too. It does something to you.
Yes, it does. And I think running has helped me get out of that being at home all day, sitting in that chair. It's like, I have to get out and run. If not, there's no telling what kind of dark hole I could go into.
It changes your mood. It really does.
It does.
I understand. I really use that word loosely when I used to say, oh, they have cabin fever. I get it now. Like, you have to, and we're not meant to be in the house, not meant to be alone. Even though we do have the interactions on the phone sometimes and things like that, we're meant to be in community and we're meant to be around people. And so I think that when that happened to the world, a lot of the world, where we had to isolate, and it made us do other things and be creative and do the things that we really, because you didn't want to be stuck in that mindset. Right. So I know I can see, and that's how I start, when they open the gym back up, I was like, okay, I've been wanting to, there's no excuse. Like he said, there's no reason for me not to go. So when there's no reason I'm going to start using it so much. Yeah. I'm going to put it on a post. No, because I love that, because that's what's sticking with me from our interaction right now. If there's no reason not to, and it's something I want to do, why not do it?
Mm-hmm. It helps. It's gotten me out the door so many times.
And I like when you said everybody's couch is different. See, look at all this. I'm
getting deep today.
You get so deep, Jana. I love it. I love it. So what about so bath. I love bath. And I love reading. However, I get back, so I'll do the reading thing. I'll be like, okay, I want to read this book, and this book. But I'm glad because of book club, I can finish a book. Right. Because now I don't have just these three. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let me read this right now, 15 minutes. But no, I have something. I have a goal.
Yeah.
And I look forward to being with the girls and everything. So travel. Do you like travel?
I do. But I don't like the process of travel.
Oh, like getting ready and planning.
Well, just the driving or the flying. I don't like the actual travel part, but I like being where I'm at and being there.
Yeah, that's funny. That don't bother me.
Oh, yeah.
It could be a long road. It's in my mind. If it's planned out as a road trip, that's what I'm ready for it, and I'm gonna embrace it. And we're gonna do the games in the car. We're gonna do music. Somebody's gonna sleep, but things. It don't bother me. Okay. The flying. The only thing that bothers me is if there's a layover. Yeah. And I can't get to it if it wasn't layover. I'm thinking about that. Or if it gets delayed.
I just want to be there. I don't want the hustle and bustle. But
I get it. So before we go, some people don't. How did you get into pharmacy? Because we said both of us are pharmacists. Mm-hmm. What made you go the pharmacy route?
Oh, it's in my blood. I have my mom, my uncle. I've got cousins that were all before me that are pharmacists, and then I've got cousins and niece now that's after me. So yeah. So it's in my blood. That's all I've known. I grew up going to the pharmacy with my mom.
Oh, that's so cool. So it was a no-brainer for you.
Yeah, it was, and then I went in a different direction, got an undergraduate degree in psychology, and so I still love psychology. I learned that I loved learning about psychology, just didn't like doing it.
Yeah. Do you like criminal stuff? Like
Yeah.
crime structure? I mean, too. Like
Yeah.
true crime. What's your favorite criminal type show?
Unfortunately, the true crime, although I think I listen to it when I run, and that's not always the good thing.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to switch it to some lighthearted. I listen to this podcast when I run.
Yay!
I love it because I can get lost in it, and it's so encouraging.
Yay!
And
That's
so,
the goal.
yes.
One thing I hope many people are listening to. That's
Yes.
the goal. And again, Ted was on. He was on just before you, and what we talked about, he reinforced or affirmed something that I always think. It doesn't matter how many people. If you touch one, eventually they're gonna tell somebody you touch.
Yes.
One. Because the goal for me is that's what the whole thing was. It's like, okay, I've been wanting to do this. How do I help people with the things that I've learned, and then engage other people, because we're regular people going through regular things, but sometimes regular things turn into big things, and they can be not big things if we talked about it a little bit.
No, that's what I love about this and all your guests is I just love, they're just real people sharing their real stories and giving, their paths and
I love
it. Yeah.
Thank you, Jana. You shout out. Share it with one person and tell the right thing and say, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
You might not like all of them, but it's going to be somebody or something that somebody says or one of my reels or something that comes up. And no, that's good. So, pharmacy, we talked about
Yes.
that. Mom was a pharmacist. Everything was great with her. And is she still practicing?
Yep, she's retired.
Okay.
Yep, she raises chickens and
Chickens.
she has chickens now.
Okay,
So.
I know a few pharmacists that do chickens too. Where does that go in? I know some young ones that smaller ones that they're pharmacists and they do raise
They
chickens.
got chickens in the backyard
And they have eggs.
Oh,
and
yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they eat them all, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so before we go, of course, see how easy
Yes.
and good this was?
Yes.
Because we have a good connection and you have so much to say and share. Don't ever think that you don't. I know you talked about some 5K. You could talk about the kids thing, the kids run. I know that to get them engaged for the summer, or anything else additionally you want to add to hype up for anybody who's listening.
Yeah. So, like we've been talking this whole time about running, I've got a program that my husband and I started. We've got another leader that helps us coach our Kids Run 365 summer program. We usually have a program in Collierville, in Germantown, and there might be one in East Memphis this summer. So if you want to go on Facebook and look at Kids Run 365 and get some information there, we're all about having fun while running, because that's so important, and that's how you build the foundation, is having fun while you exercise.
I love it. Okay, well, good. Go to Kids Run Fun.
Kids Run 365.
365. Okay. I know we wanted to be part of it last year, so we'll try to do it this year. All right. Thank you, Jana, for coming.
Thank you, Rhonda.
I love you. You guys subscribe to Trim the Fat. I have an Instagram at trim_the_fat. I have a Facebook page. It's Trim the Fat Podcast with Dr. Rhonda G. Of course, go over to the Run 365, Kids Run 365. But subscribe, like, share the YouTube with someone you feel that would benefit from it. Anyone who might be looking into being a runner or even just starting the process, I think this was a great episode for you. Thanks for watching. ShotRx is a full-service family clinic right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Get your well child visits, physicals, vaccinations, B12 shots, and more. Visit shotrx901.com. or call 901-779-6500. Welcome to care and compassion. Welcome to ShotRx.